Yeah, I think that's one thing about like the doc that like I really loved about it is that it did kind of capture that feeling, that kind of nostalgic love that a lot of people have for music, especially like in the olden days where you can just go to any bar and see somebody playing. You never knew it was going to be in there, and it like really captured that essence of like being kind of like in the scene of music, and especially like during the heyday of stuff like that, I guess. But it also like shows the glamour and glitz of it all, almost from that kind of perspective. Were there any nights, because you do this on a weekly basis, were there any like nights where you're like, maybe not tonight, or like any feelings where you kind of maybe weren't feeling it?
Oh yeah, there's always. I mean, when you do something, we've been doing this show for 26 years now, every Monday night,
Yeah, that's
right?
crazy.
Of course, there's going to be times when it's just like, oh man, Netflix sounds really good right about now. Just having a meal and watching a movie. But the thing that always happens, and I tell this to everybody, like sometimes I go to a show and I'm not really wanting to be there, but by the time it's over, I don't want to leave. And there's something magical about that. That it's transformative for me. So I need these shows to get me right. I need
Yeah.
these shows to get me out of my routine and out of my house and out of all my kind of creature comforts. And hopefully, people that come, they kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the documentary did like a really good job of capturing that whole aspect of it. And like for you, Nick, I guess kind of how did you come to this story and like and the Reverend and like the whole and wanting to kind of document this in your own way?
Yeah, I mean, I was just a fan, really. I mean, I've been watching Vince play for like 6 years before one day I was like, wow, I gotta. I mean, I'm looking around and you can see like the kind of experiences that people are having, at his shows, and like everybody's been to a show where like the audience is really feeling it, but this goes way beyond that. People are having a spiritual experience, people are having a community experience, and I was like, oh man, I gotta bring this to the world. And then I also wanted to just like see see what makes Vince want to do this and what other things he's doing. And so that's how I got it started. And I knew the saxophone player a little bit, and so she introduced us, and Vince sort of cautiously agreed.
Okay. I guess like when he approached you with this idea about creating this whole documentary about you and like your whole music journey and just your weekly shows and stuff, kind of how was your response to it, and like what did you really think about it? Like were you kind of hesitant?
Yeah, I was very hesitant. I mean, I was like beyond hesitant. I was dismissive at first. I was because I'd had some experience with documentary filmmakers in the past trying to do the similar thing, and they did not turn out well. So I was a little, I don't know if I want to get into this again. But Nick was very persistent and kind of stayed with me and just kind of like gently held my hand and finally made me feel comfortable that yeah, I can do this. And that Nick seemed responsible enough of a person that there'd actually be a film made
Yeah.
at the end of it all, because that was part of the fear too. It's just like, what, you're just going to follow me for another year and just
Just
like
never see it. Yeah.
never see anything, because that's what happened the last two times. So